Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review on a foundation which has not been out for that long, but it's new to me. I've only just recently purchased it. It'd be handy if I had it with me. And that is the Becca Aqua Luminous Perfecting Foundation, and it looks like so. And I have bought mine in the shade medium. Now, in all honesty, I kind of ordered it blindly online. I kind of guessed, looked at a few other YouTubers who've got similar skin tones to mine. They bought medium, so I bought medium. Now, even though Becca is available in the UK, it's not available in every single freestanding store where you can actually go inside and like swatch them. I bought mine from Cult Beauty, and that's an online store. And I think that Becca is also sold in Space NK, but they're only mainly based in central London, and I live in the suburbs, so it's not like I can just roll there after work sort of thing, you know. Anyway, so this retails in at £34, which is at the higher end of the foundation market, but Becca Cosmetics generally is a more higher end brand, very luxurious. I don't think I've ever come across a product of theirs which I have disliked. Their products are very, very good. This is the second foundation of theirs I've ever bought. I bought the Evermatte Shine something foundation, but that was ages ago, and I bought it in Canada, and I haven't really used it since. It's a good foundation, but it's just not something I've repurchased, just because I've got so many other foundations and obviously keep buying new ones. So this one is a standard 30ml. It comes in a very luxurious glass bottle, which obviously means you have to be very, very careful. Now, the thing that is different about this foundation in terms of its packaging is this. Okay, fail already. Ah, it popped up. Did you see that? So what you do is you're meant to press on it once or twice, and then you lift it up, and then there is a dropper or a pipette, which, if you guys remember from my review that I did on the Studio Waterweight foundation by MAC, I hate this kind of thing. Now, one thing that you guys may not know about me, you probably don't know about me because it's not really beauty related, and I don't generally get too personal on my channel. I have a disability with my right hand. If you can see, there's no muscle there. There is muscle here. I have issues, I can't bend it properly. Now, for somebody like me, and the problem is my thumb doesn't work properly. It's a long story. If you want to hear about my nerves and that kind of thing and the reason my hand is like this, you can let me know below, and I guess I can. And that's why I've always said that if I can do my eyeliner, you guys can do your eyeliner, because I am actually kind of disabled with this hand. That is not mocking disabled people. I am generally disabled, but I just get on with it. But for somebody like me who can't press down properly because I can't grip it, I can't use it that well, I end up having to hold it like this and then pressing it with my top fingers to let it out, which makes it very, very messy. And to be honest, even if you didn't have this kind of disability like me, you probably would still end up making a mess. I really don't know why brands try to be so different and try and do things like that. I guess maybe for hygiene purposes, if you're a makeup artist, it's easier to do droplets. I don't know. Anyway, so that is how that works. And already, yes, I have made a little bit of a mess. Now, I've been using this foundation for about a week, and I think it's okay. It's not bad, aside from the packaging, which is just really irritates me and annoys me. And I think the shade range is very small. I think there's something like 8 shades. And like I said, I'm in the shade medium. Now, medium is for, I can see it from far. Hold on, I can't read from this distance. This shade is for people with medium skin tone with neutral undertones. I don't have neutral undertones. I have golden yellow undertones, and the majority of the shades in this range are for people with neutral undertones. Why? Most people don't have neutral undertones. Neutral meaning beige, and I'm yellowy. Now, this colour on me, and I am in MAC and NC40, I would say it is a tiny bit dark for me, but on the dark beigeish side. Now, this foundation doesn't oxidize on me, which is why the colour kind of stays the same. Now, if it did oxidize, it would turn me orange. But generally, maybe in the summer, this may work a little bit better for me. But for now, I would say is a little tiny bit on the dark side. But I think I kind of make it work. I am wearing it today, and you can't, I guess, tell. But I can tell when I apply it to my face. I can see very obvious brown patches when I'm applying it with my fingers. Then I blend it all in, powder, highlighter, mixing it in with your concealer. Then it kind of works in that sort of way. So in terms of the shade range, 8 shades, the majority of them neutral undertones. you're not really going to get everybody that way. So I don't know why they've released it in such a small quantity and limited in so many undertones as well, which is a little bit disappointing, especially considering it has a £34 price tag. You would think that they would expand the range a little bit more so that more people could get a use of it. This is the box that it comes in, and I will read you what their claims are. It says, veil your skin with foundation coverage that feels water-light while it evens and perfects the complexion. Each weightless fluid drop imparts subtle luminosity that blurs imperfections and creates a soft, focused glow. In a range of flexible shades with light, buildable coverage, Aqua Luminous Perfecting Foundation imparts a healthy, natural glow. And it says the way to use it: shake well, twist the cap until the button pops up, push and release to fill the dropper, twist cap fully off and push button to dispense 1 or 2 drops of foundation to apply all over face. If more coverage is desired, let dry, then build up 1 or 2 drops over the top. 2 drops of foundation will just barely cover one of my cheeks, by the way. I don't know why they say these kind of things. Most people apply foundation to get coverage, not no coverage, unless they've already got pretty much perfect skin. And in that case, I hate you anyway. No, I don't really, but yeah, I kind of do. Yeah, so to me this is a medium coverage foundation. On here it says that it is in a range of shades with light buildable coverage. That to me sounds like a light coverage foundation. I don't think so. I think it is medium coverage. I do probably fill up the dropper maybe twice and apply it to my hand, and then I apply extras to my cheek areas, which is why I always say to you guys, because I have got a lot of texture on my cheeks, marks on my cheeks, pigmentation from spots when I was a teenager, and I unfortunately used to squeeze them, and I am now suffering as a result of that in adulthood. I need to use that bloody derma roller, for God's sake. Yeah, so I would say it has medium coverage. Veil your skin with foundation that feels water-light. Water-light, yes, it's a very runny foundation. I think you could see that from when I showed it to you without trying to get messy around here. You can see it is a pretty runny foundation. Each weightless fluid drop imparts a subtle luminosity that blurs imperfections and creates a soft, focused glow. So that is basically this foundation, or Becca's way of saying it is a dewy foundation. It is not a matte satin foundation, semi-matte finish. It is a dewy kind of foundation. So oily skinned people, beware. I have got normal to combination skin, and I tend to get oily on my T-zone area. Now this one starts to get oily on me, I'd say at about hour 5 or 6, but it's nothing that a little bit of blotting powder and blurs imperfections and creates a soft, focused glow. I guess it does. In all honesty, I'm not a big fan of dewy finish foundations, and I will give you my reason why. It's nothing personal against dewy foundations. It's just because of my skin, and you can't tell so much because of this camera. I have got quite textured skin because of the fact that I had spots. Now what I find is that with other foundations, they almost fill in those textured areas and they give a more diffused and blur imperfections kind of look. This one actually tends to accentuate them for at least the first hour or 2 of wear. Then I find that as the hours go on during the day and my natural oils come out, it settles a bit more on my face. I don't like the finish that it leaves on my face in particular, but I think somebody who, well, most people don't have textured skin in all honesty. Most people do not spend the age of 14 picking the life out of their face till it left scars. I did. It's my fault. That's just what has happened. So yeah, I find that it tends to pick up those imperfections a little bit more and makes them a little bit more obvious. And especially because it is a dewy foundation, light bounces off of it. That means that you can see my spots, not my spots, or if I had spots, or the textures and the pittedness of my skin, you can see it a lot more obviously. Whereas with something like a normal foundation like my Too Faced Born This Way or the Makeup Forever Ultra HD, I don't have that issue at all. It almost masks and covers them and blurs them. So I wouldn't necessarily say that this blurs imperfections. However, it does give a good coverage to my skin. The discoloration, it fixes beautifully. I don't have to wear any concealer on top of my face afterwards. A soft, focused glow. I guess so. I mean, at the moment, obviously you guys will probably be thinking her skin looks really lovely. Thank you very much. It's this lovely ring light and it's my lovely camera. But in terms of a soft focus glow, I guess, again, only after a couple of hours I find that I get that with this. In a range of flexible shades, not really, 8 shades, and most of them are neutral toned. And I do apologise for all this sniffing. I am having a really bad allergies day to day, and my nose keeps running even though it feels like it's blocked. TMI. Light buildable coverage, as I said, medium buildable coverage in my opinion. But obviously the more you apply, the more dewy you will look. So bear that in mind, that you don't want to move on to the whole greasy side of things. Healthy, natural glow. Yeah, I guess it does. Overall, I think it's an alright foundation. I don't really think it's something that I will personally repurchase, purely because of the reason that I've mentioned. For myself in particular, I prefer foundations not to accentuate and make more obvious and emphasize the fact that I don't have perfect skin. This one does do that. Now, the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation stick is also a dewier foundation, but because that's creamier and thicker, it doesn't do that as much, but it does do it a tiny little bit, which is why for somebody like me in particular, who has got problem skin or used to have problem skin but doesn't anymore, I prefer to use normal foundations, so matte, satin, semi-matte, demi-matte, whatever you want to call them. Anything and everything other than a dewy kind of foundation. So yeah. Oh god. So that's it for my review on the Becca Aqua Luminous Perfecting Foundation. I hope you guys find it useful and helpful. If you've got any comments or questions, feel free to let me know below. In my opinion, I'd probably give this foundation a 7 out of 10. It is a pretty good foundation. It lasts very long on me. Like I said, it gets to about hour or 5 or 6 before I start to get slightly shiny. But then I apply a little bit of blotting powder and it fixes it up perfectly. As long as once I apply the foundation and then I set it with my powder, I find that the dewiness is reduced slightly, but not to the point where you're making it look matte, and that kind of defeats the whole purpose of having a dewy foundation. It just sets it nicely in place. There is a slight tackiness to it. When I wear my sunglasses, it leaves a very obvious mark on my nose, which I have to blend out. Because, again, it is a very liquidy and dewy foundation, it will tend to rub off a lot more quicker than one that is not, if that makes sense. Because it's a very fluidy, movable foundation, you know. It doesn't move around on the face unless you actually go, so that's it. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think if you've tried it, whether or not you're going to try it. Depends. I think it's a good foundation. I think it's worth trying if you've got non-textured skin and you like dewy foundations. And that's it really. So I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.